Now to some political news. President Biden in Italy this morning for the G7 summit. He's planning on signing a commitment for the United States to support Ukraine for the next 10 years.
Doug Luzader joins us now with more. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. This is a big commitment to Ukraine. Congress would still ultimately have to provide the specific funding, but nevertheless, this is an effort on the part of these G7 nations to present kind of a unified front in dealing with Ukraine and Russia. President Biden greeting other world leaders this morning at the G7 summit in Italy, where much of the talk will turn to Ukraine. Expect a declaration of unity to help Ukraine continue its defense against what has become a protracted Russian invasion. And on his own, the president will commit the U.S. to support Ukraine for the next decade.
That is a huge message to Russia and to their overlords in China that while Ukraine isn't joining NATO, Europe and the G7 and NATO members are behind Ukraine against Russia for as long as it takes.
The G7 is also committing to using seized Russian assets to aid Ukraine, heightening tensions as the Pentagon begins to monitor a large Russian naval exercise with Cuba, not far from U.S. shores. Russia's foreign minister just thanked Cuba for backing Russia in its war on Ukraine. And on Tuesday, Russian warships were just 30 miles off the Florida coast. The Pentagon played down the move.
We're always constantly going to monitor any foreign vessels operating near U.S. territorial waters. We, of course, take it seriously, but these exercises don't pose a threat to the United States.
Okay, and back to the G7 very quickly. The G7 nations will hear from Pope Francis tomorrow. It's the first time that a pope has addressed a G7 gathering. Jen and Mel.
Oh, interesting. All right. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks.
To the port of